Welcome to Building Kashyyyk in Lego. My name is Isaac Miner. This is week 1, and in this week we're going to show you what the plans are for the future of the build. We're also going to show you what I've done so far. I've got a lot of the base done, not entirely, but I have a good portion of the footprint laid out and some plans for what we're going to do further on the line and in future weeks. Thank you for watching. Let's get into it. So let's get into the planning for this episode. I know that there's several different things I want to include. Again, this is all based off the game, the Battlefront 2 game. So some of the stuff that might be more recognizable from Kashyyyk, like the big trees and stuff, I'm not really going to go into and build because they're sort of out of the map in the game. And so we're going to focus more on like the big turbo tank that you can play in and the game. Some of the different Wookiee structures that are on each side, both here and all throughout this side. There's lots of swamps as well that are going to be through here and maybe scattered about in this area here. And then at the back we're going to have the downed gunship that's going to be crashing. It's another one of those sort of, they're not checkpoints, but areas that you try and capture throughout the game. I'm going to include that as well. Now, this is pretty big, this setup so far. And again, I don't have the last 2 rows of 32 by 32 base plates because this is, I'm limited by the size of my table, but I have separated it into 3 different sections here and here, excuse my camera board, that are going to allow me to take it apart and work on a section at a time at its full final length. Now, I'm going to start by laying out and sort of getting my border up. I've done a lot of that so far. You can see throughout here that I've got the most, for the most part, this 1/3 here set up. It's mostly covered. Now, some of this stuff's going to have to come up if I create indents or little ponds that are in the swampy portion. There's no telling. But this at least gives me a baseline. In the middle here, I'm working on, I've sort of separated myself an area between these 2 tiles that I've laid out on the base plate there so that I can build the Kashyyyk, just Kashyyyk built out of Lego, and I'm going to have that installed right here, and then finish off that border and hopefully finish off some of this filler brick that I've been using to elevate the entire thing. This is just a placeholder for the turbo tank, sort of its outline or scale to help me with some of this, because I'm going to have to remove a lot of this filler brick right here because it's the turbo tank is going to really sit on the base and then build the ground up around it, and so that'll also help me because I'm actually running out of filler brick, and so it'll allow me to move on to this part. Now, I'm still taking apart my last big build, which was featured on Beyond the Brick if you want to go look at that, and that has more filler brick in it, so that will help me finish off this 3rd section over here. Again, I apologize for my camera work. I'm just starting out with this, but that's my plans for now. I guess we'll get into building here. Hey there. So I know I said that I was going to get into building, but I've actually had to come back, and you can see, and well, I had to get some parts from this, and you see that I've already taken apart the landscaping and such from this, and several other parts, the roof and some of these plates over here that I needed for some different things. But I just wanted to show you some of the inner workings of this. I've got sort of a good example of how the power came out to feed this conveyor system that I had rigged up in this little tower. Some different things, some little details on the wall. This was actually my favorite wall. Now it looks weird because it's all taken apart, but when it was all put together, that was definitely my favorite part of it. And if Poppy will get out of my way here, I'll show you some more parts of it. Here's those landing platforms. I was really proud of those, as well as this entrance, which is now quite destroyed, but it looked good at one point, so that's all that matters. I wonder if this still works. That's kind of cool. But this is the inside of it. I had my big medical bay over here. Lots of interesting details that I put in this. Some parts that were not quite finished, like up here. And actually where this was unfinished as well. But for sort of a rush job that it was all right. And then if we look in here, there's more filler bricks in there, and I've got to get those out, but that's another project for another day. Thank you. Now, hopefully, let's get into building. All right, Poppy? All right, guys. So I've got the word finished spelled out, and I do have a few things that I'm still working on. I'm not 100% happy with all my Y's and everything. My K's are a little odd on this, and I do have a half plate gap here, but I'm gonna probably go back and fix that later, or just make it where it's not as noticeable. But overall, I'm pretty happy with it. Also built up the border on each side to where it's at its final height. Now I can move on. Alright, thank you everyone for watching. I think that's going to be about all the progress I'm going to get done with for this episode. But next week I'd like to get either some of the landscaping done. I think I'm going to go ahead and order the instructions to the turbo tank. We'll see if I can get some of those parts together, maybe start building that. And who knows, we'll maybe even get some prototypes for the Wookiee structures there. So thanks again, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.